All right, sports fans, it's the last Q&A with Alan and Marshall show for the year 2023. We'll have plenty more next year.
Absolutely.
This is the last one for this year. So I don't know what kind of craziness we're going to get into. We'll actually do, because we do have an agenda. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in today, but also throughout the whole year. You guys are what made this show a success.
100%.
And without it, it's just us idiots here chatting about stuff.
And Marshall, while we have an agenda, so we know what craziness, it's not our agenda. You have a question, you have a topic, bring it up. It's all about you guys. We will change for you. So.
Yeah, of course we'll change.
Absolutely.
And so, but we need you to do us a favor. So first off, you need to just say hello, drop a comment. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm from this city, or here's my shop name, or whatever it is. We want to know who's watching. But more so than that, we really would like you to ask a question. That's the Q part, right? Yep. And that way we'll do the A part.
Whether we know it or not, we'll make it up. Or we know.
Hey, there definitely will be an answer.
we know people.
Will it be the answer that you want? I don't know. Right? It depends on the question. So, and also our last little bit of housekeeping here is, if you could share that you're watching, that would just be really awesome. We're always trying to grow our audience and that type of stuff. And if you're one of the, I don't know, hundreds of people who watch as a recording or listening as the podcast, we have some people that do that. Please just say hello, drop a line. Hey, this is how I consume the material. That would be great too, because we just want to know where everybody's from, right? So
absolutely.
All right. So
and you know what? Yeah, like I said, share with everybody. I love Marshall. The best part of this is when people say, yeah, I listen to you, and it's always from Spotify or YouTube and stuff, or man, the international people is just incredible.
Yeah, because it's like 3 a.m. or whatever where they're watching. So,
but sometimes they watch it afterwards, from us, and so it's so great.
Yeah. Anyway, so how are you doing, Alan? Did you have a good holiday? What did you do?
I had a great holiday. Christmas I spent with my stepmom, my brothers, my nephews, and stuff like that. She's 100% Polish, so it was a breakfast of, not just eggs and stuff, but a couple types of pierogies and 2 types of sausage and
lots of pork in there. I'm assuming
the pierogies. There was cheese, there was potato, there was mushroom, stuff like that. Of course, and vegetables and fruit and everything like that. It was great with my brothers and my nephews always. And then after that lunch, I drove to Ohio for dinner with my aunt and uncle and some people there. And, we had Cornish game hens and a great time. And then
that's like a tiny chicken.
Very tiny chicken, but so good. And, then
hold on. How do you know it wasn't a pigeon?
How do you know it wasn't? I don't know. Right from the city of Canton, Ohio. They just shot him that day. I don't know and don't care. It was a sparrow or something like a starling.
Hey, all the cardinals in the backyard are missing. What's
going on? This one's a blue jay. A turkey vulture.
Right.
But and then the next day, my cousins were all over. Some of them I'd seen. Ryan was down from Toronto, Canada. With his family, and I hadn't seen him in a while. It was just a good time.
Yeah, good.
So,
I'm so
and
glad.
you know what? Hey, let's talk about the Lions winning, their conference for the first time in forever. 7-4. The Browns.
To me, football is a nasty topic right now, because the Seminoles play tomorrow against Georgia, and of course, all of half our team went to the pros or in a transfer portal. So this basically is the first game for next year.
Exactly.
That way. And I'm still pissed off. By the way, don't get me started. Right. Nope, and of course the Cowboys are self-destructing as we watching. And I can't wait till the 2 things happen. 1, we get rid of Dak Prescott. 2, Jerry Jones something happens to that guy, so we can actually get somebody who can run the team better than that idiot, right?
Well,
so
here's the deal. Who's Detroit playing set? Or who's Detroit?
I know you're going to beat us. So,
well, I don't think so. So here's
you
the
are.
thing for the Lions. Like all the hype here, everybody's going. This is the year. This is the year. You know what?
Yeah,
they've got to beat.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Alan. Will you? I'll bet you a piece of pie in Long Beach on the game.
Let's do it. Because I don't think Detroit will win. You don't, and you're a Dallas fan. You don't think they'll win.
Oh, so Detroit, you got Detroit, I got Cowboys, right? But it's just you're gonna
win. And I think if
we're not gonna win, we're gonna fumble and whatever.
I think if Detroit wins, then we can talk maybe a Super Bowl. But now let's just get a playoff win. It's
one game at a time, pal. All right, so let's get to the show because this is just nobody's tuning in.
But I had a great holiday. It was awesome. Yesterday I had I had lunch with Richard Greaves and Mark Deal from Delph. It was always just a good time.
And Richard said hello from Southeast Michigan.
Yep.
And Davis is here, first time caller, long time listener.
And sometimes co-host.
Brian's here. Good last Friday. I almost said last Good Friday, but that's a different holiday, right?
Exactly.
Simon says, Happy New Year, gents. See you in Long Beach. I can't wait.
It's going to be a great show.
And then best ever tease, howdy from Flagstaff.
How you doing?
By the way, my son goes to NAU, so there you go.
There we go. And hey, we have a great dealer in down there too. So yeah.
Brian says, go Chiefs, but the Lions are doing so good. It's looking like the 49ers and Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's roll the GSG commercial.
Yep.
Find the thing. And
we want to say, man, again, what a great partner in GSG. How fortunate are we that they partner with us on this show for all these years? And yeah,
it's great.
Thank you, man. So awesome.
All right, here we go.
Over the last 70 years, GSG has seen many changes in the apparel decorating industry. But one thing that hasn't changed is our dedication to helping our customers discover what's next. As we continue to lead the industry, GSG is here to support your business with industry experts. The latest innovative products, training services, and by delivering the perfect order.
And that's great. And we want to mention happy birthday to Mark, our good buddy Mark at GSG. And I don't know how old he is, but I hope he had a good birthday.
I do know how old he is. He's younger than me. I talked to him yesterday. He's on vacation, so I don't think he'll pop on.
Yeah. I'm on vacation. Why am I here?
Yeah.
That's because I love you guys. That's why.
Exactly. Right? He's on vacation. He's 56. But yeah, he was just kind of taking it easy. I know him and his wife went out to dinner to Del Frisco last night. They said they were going to go.
That's a good place. Been there. Yeah.
Yep. Which is hard because Mark is a phenomenal cook in himself. So,
yeah. Yeah, that's this is a funny thing. When I go to restaurants, sometimes I go, man, I could cook this better than that.
Yeah. And so I think Mark does that, but he knows good places and good food. And I think his anniversary too is around the same time. So they're kind of double dipping at it. But Mark, happy birthday. Appreciate all your help. And yeah.
All right. Anyway, we got our first topic, right?
Let's go.
You ready? And I know this came up during your lunch with the fellows in Michigan the other day. And so I think it's a great topic. So let's throw it up, which is single points of failure, right? Yep. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to think single points of failure. Now, Alan is going to say what that means. So give us some context there, pal.
Well, single points of failure is looking to see in Richard Greaves. I'm going to take this from him. is looking to see where the potholes are. You know, he had a great analogy. In Michigan, we're all about potholes because our roads have them all, and you have to see where they are to avoid them. And so
you're snowplow situation.
It's snowplows, it's salt, it's everything. It's wintertime.
Here's the thing: in Arizona, we're not potholes.
No. You get your car sandblasted every once in a while, though. Too.
Like every day. Like that's why we have garages.
But single points of failure are looking to see where are those things that will shut you down. Now, it starts with good SOPs, and it can be anything from, since we had Mark Deal from Delphit there, when you have a direct-to-screen unit and a print head goes out or something happens, you're shut down. You're not producing screens and production stops. Why don't you have a second one there? Why don't you have a extra cylinder for your press there? Do you have backups on even things like fluorescent bulbs, LED bulbs for your overhead?
Let me tell you, all of the shops that I ran, we had a parts room shelf, whatever, right? And we had proximity switches for the presses. We had backup units for all the print heads. We had anything that we needed that we would have to order, and it would take a day or two, whatever. Yeah. And then we're down until that happened, right? Until we got back up and running and the thing came in. And it was such a good, good thing, right? And I remember I had such a big problem. We bought this really expensive automatic screen cleaner, right? Yep. And we had a pump failure.
Yep.
And luckily, Milwaukee's a port city. And I remember taking the pump out of the machine. Now, I actually did this. I'm not mechanical, so it was amazing that I took the pump out of the machine. I did it with wrenches and tools.
Yep.
Crazy. I drove to this pump repair place and then went and had some lunch around the corner and came back, and they had fixed it, right? And I came back and I put the pump back into the thing the same day. I tried to order the pump from the manufacturer. I'm not going to go into who it was.
Right.
And of course the thing was made in Switzerland. And I said, well, I need you to overnight me the part. And they're like, do you know how expensive that is? I go, we do 350 screens a day. Like if you don't, so every day that goes by, it's a multiple of 350 screens that are being backed up. I go, the money for the overnighting the part doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay? But I found a way to fix it, of course. And of course, we didn't keep a whole extra pump on there. But it's like one of these things, if you've got something that's so key to your business and it evaporates, like you're dead in the water until you get that fixed. So think about your business. What is that?
Well, and then it goes, we got even deeper. Richard, of course, this was Richard's thing. And he just goes, it goes deeper in that, Alan. He goes, why do you run out of anything? White ink, black ink. Why does that ever run out? Always have your backup.
Because you're not paying attention.
Exactly.
You don't have Kanban cards for inventory. There's a reason. Yep. This is all processes and procedures. Right?
And it comes down to SOPs. And so then he brought, doing the 100 steps thing from the beginning of the job. Start documenting. Everybody has and Richard's great on video. He goes, everybody has one of these. You have a video camera right there. Go through the steps that
I've seen him do that.
He does. And it's,
you've got a movie studio right here.
Right there. Exactly. That is a Richard Greaves thing. So he stole that from me. No, he did not. But he's right. Why, are we running out of anything? These are things that shut down your production and slow it down.
Yeah.
And if you don't have this SOPs, if you're not doing your 100 steps or what are the steps of it, and you can keep adding to it.
Well, and this is also not just about having consumables on the floor. This is preventative maintenance.
100%.
This is understanding how everything is working. This is how you're scheduling. This is also your employees. So if like only one person knows how to ship, right? So when that person is sick or has vacation and just not shipping on Thursday, I mean, what are you doing, right? This is really anything that you're looking for the weakest link. Let's put it that way.
And it could be, like you said, if it's only one person can do it in your shop, that's a problem. There's a point of failure.
Yeah.
He gets hit by a bus. He gets sick with the flu. He has a cold. There's a death.
Also, it's you, the owner, right? So if you're the only person selling and you or the only person that talks to customers, right? And you want to have a day off, the reason why you don't get any vacation time is because you're so key to the company, you can't take a day off. That's
exactly.
You have to replace yourself, right? So, or what are you going to do? You have to plan that out, right? And so just these are all just things to get you thinking, right?
Yep.
Got some comments.
Coming up from this year, everybody needs to go and start looking, where are your single points of failure? What are the things that if it breaks, I'm shut down?
Yeah, yeah. So Ruben says, Quality Prince is here. Happy Friday. Let's learn something new in the next hour. Thanks for your time, gentlemen.
Absolutely, Ruben. Been to a shop in Illinois, so very nice.
I don't know what the gentleman comment. Josh Wiley says, good morning. Hey, Josh, how's that new baby doing? Good. Brian says 2 is 1, 1 is none. Exactly. That sounds
Brian,
like
way to go.
A Navy term to me.
Yep.
Right. So,
yeah, it sounds like cash flow out, but what it is preventative. It's preventing failures. It's redundancy. You call it for what it is.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, did you work out that thing we were talking about on the phone the other day? Let me know. So, just thinking. Has nothing to do with this topic, but just was curious. Josh is doing great. 7 weeks old yesterday. 7 weeks already. Wow, that's crazy.
Be in college soon.
Yeah. My kid just came home from college for the holidays, right? Holiday break.
I remember when Jack was going into high school for the first time.
In his bedroom right now. We should go wake him up.
We should. Come on, Jack. You got to be on the podcast again. It's been a while. Yeah, he's going to go never.
Yeah. Well, we burned him out at one time. Mike's here. Greetings from California.
Well, you brought him to Shirt Lab too, and everybody knew him and freaked him out too.
Yeah. Anyway, so single points of failure. So this is really could be anything: communication, marketing, sales, your web page. What happens if your web page goes out? What happens if you forget, something that you're using has an upgrade, right? But the other programs don't plan on the upgrade, right? So you see this a lot when like QuickBooks upgrades and like programs like industry software that we have, won't mention any titles, but don't upgrade with it. And now the invoices don't work, right? And that's happened a whole bunch of times, right?
Right. Well, yeah, Josh has a great point.
It's weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. We stay on top of it and have very few mechanical breakdowns, more employee error.
But
right?
That will happen. And what is the backup for that?
Yeah, well, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
I mean, what I used to say, it's just a production thing, right? So things happen that are, there's a fold over, there's a thing, the flash bulb burns out. I mean, it's just stuff happens all the time, and you just have to stay on top of it, right? So,
well, then we get to SOPs and stuff, and we were talking about simple things. And because we have Mark Deal there, who makes great lamps and stuff, where's the single point of failure? It could be even just in a simple thing. If you're changing a bulb and a metal halide, and that person grabs that without putting a glove on, you've just now put oil on that glass. And is that oil, finger oil on the glass of that bulb? And as you put it in and it starts heating up, it'll break that bulb.
Yeah.
And that is a single point of failure right there. And it's just in the process.
Right.
So
Good point. So, all right. So, hey, we love y'all's comments. Throw them in there. I think it's something I think this topic, people walk around it every day.
Yeah.
And don't think about it. My doorbell's ringing. So,
Amazon is there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably FedEx.
Jack has friends coming over.
Let me tell you, I had a house full of kids the other day. They were all over the couches. It looked like, I don't know, Jim Jones, like a punch party here. I don't know. Everybody was just sleeping everywhere. So
I went over. My nephews are home. One from college and stuff. One's in high school. And it's been many times. Went over to my brother's house when they're there, and there's like all their friends are asleep everywhere. And I look at Jeremy. He goes, I don't know. Kids downstairs, they just come up like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's funny when they all walk in like an army of kids, right?
Yeah.
Just like, oh, great. Anyway, so get back to this. So so just think about, make a checklist, right? And I think a really great idea for you guys to do to implement this idea is walk through an order, right? Where are we vulnerable? This could be with equipment. This could be with people. This could be with a consumable. This could be with a process, right?
Yep.
Do you have redundancy? Do you have a backup? Do you have a plan on something? You know, what exactly should happen, right?
Yeah. And
a really great, easy way to do a process map, if you've never done it, right, is just to get, hold on, got to find it here, is just to get a stack of these, right?
Yep. Nope.
And then each step, right, with a big thick marker right on there, what the step is, right? And then when somebody has to make and then put this in row, ding, 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 ding. And then somebody has to make a decision. You turn it so it's a diamond shape. And that means decision. And then underneath it, you can put all the steps for the decision, right? And this is a really great way. Just put it on the wall and then and invite everybody that has the stakeholders in the process. Hey, what did we skip? What did we miss? Where's your problem? What's going on? Where are our weaknesses? Whatever. And then start talking about this stuff and think about how you can improve it, how you can change it, how you can do whatever you need to do. And then take a picture of it. And then if you want to make it nice and neat and pretty, you can use a design program and like make it official, right? But I've done this for years and years and years like this. It's a really great way to do it because it's a Post-it note. You can move it around. You can add it and change it and like reword it or whatever you want to do. I would suggest, if you haven't done that, this is a really great exercise to do, especially early January when most people are just, there's not a whole lot going on, right? So this is a good function for you guys to be thinking about.
Well, and that brings us almost into our second topic, because then there are things you got to have, just for that daily maintenance of keeping things clean. Marshall, you talked about reclaim.
That's not our second topic. That's our third topic.
Whatever. Okay. So you talked about auto reclaim.
The third topic now.
Do you have, start the year clean. Do you have filters? Do you have all this stuff on there? Because, when you're in the textile industry, I don't care if it's DTF, DTG, embroidery and stuff, we make a tremendous amount of one thing.
Lint.
It's not shirts, it's lint. And you've got to have a cleaning program.
Those amazing boogers you get in your nose all the time out in the shop? That's where that comes from.
Yep, exactly. Start the year clean.
Yeah, pick your nose, please. No, just kidding. So what we need more than anything is to clean up, right? And I've been to tons of shops, and you would think that a tornado just blew through. What's going on in this place, right? And what is that pile of stuff there in the corner and whatever, right? There's an amazing amount of junk everywhere, right? Yep. And I'll bet you right now you have a shelf, and on that shelf is a box, or worse, a skid of shirts that have been sitting there for 2, 3 years, 4 years, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? 100%. This is prime real estate in your shop. Why is this stuff still here, right? And I've been to so many places, and they complain they don't have enough room. I've been to shops where they're interested in buying a new building.
Yeah.
And we're going to buy a new building. We've run out of room. And I'm like, well, what is all this stuff?
Yeah.
Right? It's in the way, man. Okay. And you got to have places for it, right? And the reason why we can't move it is because we're jammed up. Okay, well, what is the stuff that's in your way, right? Yep. And one of the things I talk about sometimes about workflow is, you ever heard my river story, Alan? So I want you to imagine a fast-moving river, right? You got that mental picture? Fast-moving river, right? A boulder the size of a house lands in the middle of the river. What happens to the water? It has to go around the house, the boulder, right? And it slows down. Right? Okay. So if anybody's ever been on a river, especially canoeing, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So the rapids are when everything's straight. That's like a freeway on the racetrack. When everything's like a lazy river going around and S curves going like this, that's when the water's calm and nice, right? It's the same way in your workflow. On your shop floor, in your workflow, in how your orders are coming through your system, whatever, right? You've got boulders that are in your way all the time, right? And that could be that box of stuff. That could be all these junky frames. That could be that press that you took apart 2 years ago that's still sitting right there, right? That could be any of this stuff, right? Right now is a great time to adios muchacho, get that stuff out of your way, right? Right? Call the scrap guy, right? I went to this shop once, right? And the accounting team, right, went digital. Okay. Why is that important? Well, they moved 6 or 8 filing cabinets out of the accounting room, and they put them right there in the warehouse, right next to the equipment, because they didn't have any place for them. And I watched all these people all day long walk around this little group of filing cabinets because it was in the way, right? The accounting people, of course, didn't realize what they did, and nobody production cared, right? But, let me tell you, that 2-second walk or 1 second walk or whatever, annualize that. And you'll see the reason why that's a problem. Okay. I guarantee that you have something like this in your building right now, where you're walking around something every day and you just haven't moved it, and you're kind of like the fishmonger is nose blind to smell. Nose blind to the smell, right? It's the same thing. You don't even notice the stuff anymore.
Exactly. Braden has a great point there.
Yeah, Braden. Not a bunch of shirts. That's a box of cash. Got that one from you, Marshall. Yeah, I've been to Braden a couple of times, and we actually did this exercise at his shop, right? So, just like, why is this here? So,
well. And it's not just that, it's start clean. Because you know what? When you're not clean, and you need to have a cycle on there, when you're in production, things like lint and stuff gets into pumps. It gets into cylinders and stuff. And these are hundreds of thousands of dollars of capital equipment. And you're wrecking it yourself. Stop it.
And speaking of clean, when I go to shops, I can tell you some things that I look for, right? One is, like, in the ink room, do I see fingerprint smears all over the walls, right? Or, do I see clean buckets? And when I go to the employee bathroom, right, is it clean, or do you have towels and stuff and litter all over the floor? People can't find the trash can, right? Usually this teaches me, right, how the employees care about where they work. Those two things, right?
What I see is that automatic press, does it have fuzz on it? I don't care if it's a little bit or a lot. If it's on there, it's too much,
right?
Because that is getting into your cylinders. That is getting into
into your ink, right? That causes the fuzz ball.
Getting into the ink. On the back of the screen, you have to stop and wipe that down. So absolutely.
Braden says, I'm talking to a bar owner now about going through that inventory system we have, and he's going to take a ton of it and use the shirts for trivia giveaways. We're going to basically give him at wholesale. Yes.
100%. Great. Yeah. Great.
Good job. Good job. All right. So
you're doing work for a nonprofit or something like that, and they need a low cost. Here it is. Here's what I got. Let's go.
So, all right. So, bottom of the hour, let's talk about GSG Pulse, right? And so this is the gogsg.com. This is where you can go find all kinds of great stuff. And that's right here. If you click GSG, if you click the banner ad, this is where you go and you'll see sign in digital or apparel decorating. And of course, we want to show the apparel decorating one. And there's all types of great stuff in here. And this is the one right now for Q1. So just go through here. You can see plenty of deals, lots of stuff. There's QR codes to videos. There's a lot of amazing stuff in here just for you. So check it out. This is the Go GSG Pulse magazine, which is basically like the Sears catalog for the industry. So,
it is.
You remember when that used to be the only way you could order stuff, right?
Sears, I remember my mom getting when I was a kid was the Spiegel catalog she loved.
Yeah, Spiegel.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So let's do our third topic, which was really supposed to be the second topic. But that's okay.
But I changed it. So
which is all about pricing changes. Okay. So let me tell you, as a shop consultant, my number one topic right now, and has been for the last month, is beginning of the year, we're going to change our prices. Okay. And what to do and all that stuff. Right. And now here's what I'll tell you is there are going to be price increases in the industry that's coming. Okay. My crystal ball predicts it's coming, right? Your consumables are going to go up. Your rent could go up. There's a lot of things that the cost to ship, the cost to do things, the cost of stuff for whatever you're doing could be going up, right? You do not need to be taking this on the chin. Okay. And from you're a supplier, Alan, things are going up, right? I mean, it's a truism, don't you think?
It just does. Yeah. There's nothing we can do to help it. It just does. And I don't know in our company if there's going to be a price increase on the supply side. I imagine it will. If everything else goes up, of course it will. Right. But it hasn't been announced yet. I think on equipment side, you're probably going to see some stuff across the board from everybody. I don't know if it'll be January. I don't know if it'll be February or March, but it could happen and probably will. So you got to be planning. It will happen. Yeah, it's going to happen, right? So here's the thing, right? A lot of people just go, oh, new year, let's just raise the price by 10%. They just pick some number out of their butt and then they market everything up, right? Yep. But what they're not doing is they're not thinking about the outcome, which is one of the things I teach, which is what do you want to happen? So if all things remain the same about how much you're going to produce last year to next year, let's just say you have the same, right? Like how much money do you think, how many orders, how many impressions, how much work are you going to be doing in 2024, right? And what did you make this year? What do you want to make next year, right? And if you actually do some research and find out what it actually costs you, what's your cost per impression, what is your average, right? Yep. And then if you start thinking about what the price increases are going to be, so you can talk to your people you buy your stuff from, and they're going to tell you whatever it's going to be here, this is it, whatever. How much of this stuff did you order, right? This is called doing the math. Yeah, exactly. Which is the scary part about this industry, that people just copy somebody else's pricing and think they're going to make money, right? Right. It's just, I don't even know why. I know why they do it. It's because they're lazy and they don't know any other way, right? Yeah. So what I want to tell you is, what are your costs? How much money do you want to make? What is the value that you can be charging, right? What do people want out of you, right? And how much money at the end of the month, quarter, year do you want to be making? Yeah. And if you do it this way, knowing things are going to get more expensive, right? You're more apt, of course, there's no promises because who knows what's going to happen, but you're more apt to be making the money that you want to make at the end of the year than not. And of course, here's the thing. You have to be measuring this stuff. You have to be measuring this stuff. And here's why, is because as we move through the year, right? Let's say you had a price increase
but it's not enough because you didn't anticipate X, whatever the X is, right? You can do another price increase and adjust, right? You can have several price increases during the year. It's okay. It's your business. Okay. So right now, January is, Monday, right? This is the best time to throw out new pricing. I wouldn't make a big announcement on it. I would just have new pricing.
Yep.
And it should be based on how much money you want to make and not just some arbitrary percentage markup.
100%.
Okay. So I don't know if any questions with that, please put them in the comments. Would love to help you with this. This is my number one thing I've been helping people with in the last month or two because everybody's focused on January and next year and all that. Right. So,
yep.
All right. We got some comments. Blah, blah, blah. Where are we? All right. So Carlos says, hey guys, Happy New Year.
Carlos was good talking to you this week. So yeah, from Sharp Prints.
Bruce says, hey guys, hope you had a great Christmas. I did. Thank you, Bruce. You too. Back at you. Spiegel, Montgomery Ward's and Sears and Roebuck catalog. Yes.
Oh yeah. The Monkey Ward catalog. Yeah. Can't forget.
By the way, I worked at Montgomery Ward's when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
I was the janitor for the store.
All right.
Yeah. And this is a true story. I really needed money. I was short on money. I'm a college student, have no money. Right. Yep. And I lived in an apartment complex right by the mall. So I would just walk to work, which is the main reason I took that job. And on the way in the parking lot, I needed money. I found a bank envelope with no name or anything on it with $1,500 bills in it.
Oh,
true story. And I'm like, this is the most amazing day. Right.
Exactly.
All right. Braden says minimum wage in Washington is going up to $16.28 in January. Right.
There you go.
Exactly. Know your costs. Right.
Yep.
Exactly. Everybody in that state knows it's going up. And so when you do a price increase, nobody's going to blink because everybody's doing that. Right.
Exactly.
Bruce going up with gas, obviously.
Yep.
I don't know. Gas here is dropping. Right. So you're in Kansas City, Oklahoma. Where are you, Bruce? My gas prices are dropping. I don't know about where you live. So Richard says Texas Screen, not GSG, and Advanced had a 1-inch thick paper catalogs.
I remember the Advanced catalogs. And, when I was early in my career, that first year, that's how I learned different things, different products. I would peruse through.
Yeah.
Read every catalog from Texas Screen, from Advance. Atlas had a big one.
Yeah. So
KC Graphics. Yeah.
So think about this. How come your shop doesn't have your own catalog? I use for Shirt Lab, I use a thing called Flipbook.
Yep.
And all it is a multi-page PDF that you insert and it makes a Flipbook catalog thing. Okay. It's so easy to put together. It's not even funny. So how come you don't do it with what you offer, what you sell, what your profits, projects and programs and how you do things and information or whatever? It's easy to put together. I would be doing that. And then you could be sending that off, right, with a link. Also, a cool thing with a link is that you can have that link tracked so you know how many people look, what pages they're looking at. You know tons of information about that you can use to make your catalog better. Just a thought.
We just talked about the pulse, and the nice thing about the pulse also is there are QR codes there where you can get information and technical tips from Mark Soldonic and all their experts and all that. This is not just a catalog to buy something, this is information and help. Yeah. Imagine
if your shop catalog had a QR code to book an appointment with our creative team to design your thing, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Brian says minimum wage in Missouri goes up 30 cents an hour on the 1st and $1.75 on January 1st, 2025, right?
No, in advance. There we go.
Mike says $20 minimum wage for fast food in January in California.
Okay. Yep.
Hurley says Happy New Year, everyone. Hey, is minimum wage going up in Canada? Let us know.
Yep.
Bruce says Kansas City, it just jumped 30 cents overnight.
Yep.
Beppy's here. Hey, Beppy.
From Italy.
Hello, dear friends. Happy New Year.
Yep.
Hey, Beppy, what's the minimum wage in Italy? Can you let us know?
Yeah, and for people who don't know Beppe Quaglia is the owner of Virus Inks in northern Italy. Great products, great guy, and they also are the distributor over there for Aviant too, I believe.
Oh, really? Cool. Mike says wage creep will flow over. Exactly. Yep. Ruben says, what's the name of the catalog app? It's called Flipbook. It's $1,200 a year, something like that. I use it all the time. It's awesome, right? And I've gotten the money. I use it for my own personal stuff, for Shirt Lab, for a bunch of things. It's really good, right? So John says, glad I caught the live show. Been too busy lately.
John from Indiana.
A live show, but this also implies you're watching it as a recording. So love that.
You know what? John always watches. He is a just consistent listener, whether it's live or not. He's right there on the border of Indiana and Ohio. What a great guy and great shop. So good. Hope you're doing well, John.
Hurley says, I heard anything yet, but doesn't mean it isn't.
Sure.
Ruben says, thank you. You're welcome. All right. All right. So anything else on pricing? Where are we on time? Okay. Yeah. We're a little
John
got plenty of time, right? We're
something, so it's just raised our prices close to
double what we did last year. Okay. So here's my question. When you raised your prices, did you just double it, or did you do it with some math with an actual reason, right? With, I want to make this net profit. Based on the math, if we did this, here's where we're going to end up, right? And I think a lot of times people just arbitrarily make a decision, and at the end of the year they go, hey, how'd we do, right? What I want the thinking to be is, based on this information, here's, if all things being the same, meaning we still have sales, right, at the same rate, because we always want more, but at the same rate, here's how much money that we should be making, and this is the profit we should derive from that. Yep. I think that's really important, not just arbitrarily inventing a price increase, right? So, not that your system isn't going to work, just throwing that out there.
Yep,
right?
Exactly.
John says, thanks, Alan.
Very welcome.
Brian says, working on a catalog to physically mail out.
And you know what? It's not common anymore. I have 2 distributors that still do that. And sometimes it's just nice to have that right there, and that they will look at that. They'll go online, and, I'm not 100% against that.
No. So this is all about how you touch people with your marketing.
Yep.
Right? So if everybody's doing an email thing, and nothing wrong with the email blast, all that drip marketing, everything, but we know that if you get a 5 or 6% open rate, you're doing great. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do a direct marketing piece where you're mailing it there, right? Is that going to increase your odds? And what is the cost per acquisition for whatever you're doing? That's something I would be measuring. I would be doing both, right? Have a digital version and a mail version. Maybe it's slightly different. Maybe there's a little something in there where you can track in the system where the orders came from. And that way for 2025, you can predict what you might want to do, because this way worked better.
Yep. I think too, with a physical catalog, like we have it an easy way. And for me, especially for cold calls, new customers stuff,
it's a leave behind.
It's something that puts in their hand, and there's so much direct, through email and text and stuff. It's almost like it's a novelty. Yeah. It's setting yourself apart a little bit. So interesting.
Good. Brain says raising minimum order sizes can potentially have a bigger impact than just raising prices.
Great.
Exactly. Right. That's called defending the auto, by the way.
Yep.
Brian says we also hand them out at trade shows in January.
Yep, exactly.
John says I normally aim for no less than 10% increase, but we had to go with almost 20% this year. We also use Marshall's pricing calculator. Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Way to go.
Brain says my restaurant clients are cutting out half their food options, so it makes me wonder what should be cutting out possibly. So here's the idea with that, Braden. I call it the Chick-fil-A method, right?
Yep.
People focus on what they're most profitable with, right? So a restaurant, it's the same food item, but how can we make it 2 or 3 more ways? Instead of having 2 or 3 different types of food, they concentrate on less type of the main ingredient and more options on that, because it's easier. This is why when you go to a Chinese restaurant, everything's fried the same way and they put the sauce on it. Okay.
You know what? Chick-fil-A, you can have whatever you want as long as it's chicken.
Yeah, as long as it's chicken. I can't get pizza at Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Mike says, always like printed catalogs. We're doing it now. Brian had the right idea, and direct mail is back in our radar again doing this year. Good.
Yep. And I think, Marshall, this is just an Alan Howe opinion. It's not just one thing. It can be, direct mail could be overdone. Especially those of us older, remember the days of everything came in the mall, and there would be so much spam mail. Well, in the mailbox, and it could be overdone.
Yes. Let me tell you, I only go to my mailbox once. Now, where I live, my mailbox is actually a block away because that's how they do it here. And I have a key. You have to unlock it, right? And I go to my mailbox maybe twice a week, and almost 90% of what's in there, even more than that, 95% of what's in there is junk mail.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's catalogs. It's just whatever. Right. And it's grocery store flyers. It's all that crap. Right. And there's only a few pieces that are actually anything that I want. Right. So just like your email spam, when you send stuff to somebody's mailbox, it's going to be like that. Right. So here's the idea. If you're going to be sending something to somebody, how can you make it so it instantly stands out from everybody else? Right. Yep. And I send stuff to people, and I use a shiny metallic envelope. It's either blue or red, right? And that's how that stands out. And usually it's the first thing they open because they go, "Hey, what is this thing?" Right? Yep. Just some thought.
I'm the same way. I probably go to my mailbox once a week, if that, on there. And there's a lot of spam and circulars, which goes right into recycle.
Yeah.
I never look at them. I don't need
I so wish, they actually had a thing where you could just check your address and say, "Don't send me stuff."
Yeah.
Right. That actually worked. That would be so awesome.
Right.
Anyway, Mike says we get some distributed catalogs with a logo on the front. Yep, exactly. A lot of bars are going to more fried foods, easy to make, less spoilage, less kitchen staff with less food prep.
Yep.
Don't have a Cheesecake Factory menu. Yep.
Exactly.
Not junk mail, marketing mail. Okay.
Well, see, there's a difference. You just don't randomly set it out. These have been a qualified people that you're sending to, and that's good.
And if you have a great look, it'll stand out. I look at Lands' End, and they still do marketing mail. Yeah, exactly. Right. I get Lands' End, I get Orvis, I get a lot of all the Cabela's, I get all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Brian says, I read that they have trash cans by the mailbox in Canada, so they don't take it with you. Yeah, great. That'd be awesome. All right. Hey, we got our last topic. Do you remember what it was?
No, but you know what? And that's a good point. That stuff doesn't need to be thrown out, man. If you're not recycling, you need to do your part.
Yeah. All right. Here's the last topic. You are already paying for customer service.
Exactly.
Okay? So let me tell you, you have software, you have bought equipment, you buy stuff from consumable suppliers, right? Okay. With that purchase comes the ability to ask questions.
Yep.
Okay. And I think so many people in this industry, and we're so male dominated, by the way. And as a guy, we can't ask questions because that somehow is about our manhood. I don't know what's up with that, but we can't ask for directions. I'm just going to drive around till I see something that I like and I know where I am, right? So that's how we do things, where I'm going to tell you that if you have doing business with anybody in this industry, you're already paying for the ability to call them to say, "Hey, this thing isn't working. I just made a mistake. My print head just went out," whatever. Okay. Yep. I couldn't get the thing to work. I'm getting an error message. So if you're spending more than maybe, 2 minutes on something, you should make a phone call or send an email.
Exactly.
Right? What do you think, Alan? You guys do this a lot with EasyWay with your stuff.
We do. And this topic came up again from lunch yesterday with Richard Reeves and Mark Deal from Delphin. And Mark said this: if you don't know Delphin makes a wax jet unit, a great one with great customer service, available at GSG. They make a great one. And Mark said, things happen. Everybody's worried about print heads, and they should be. And this came up because he said, sometimes, a screen won't be in right, and this print head strikes the screen. Not good. Not good at all. But he said people just go, okay, it's still working, so they never do anything. He gets so mad when they don't call him, because you know what? A print head strike can be bad. It also may not be anything. But, there's a way to check. And he's, everybody calls. And so he was glad because it was actually one of my clients in Ohio who just got a blue water, but he just got a Delpit too. And he goes, the screen wasn't in right. It struck the print head. He's telling us they called. He goes, all right, not a big deal. We don't think. Let's make sure. They run a new test. Everything's printing fine. Perfect. But when they don't, and then all of a sudden they're hating the machine, they're not having it, that's the customer service you're paying for. Make the calls to the people that you have. If your distributor's not helping you, call your manufacturer. If your distributor can't help you, get a new distributor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, the ones, let me tell you, the ones that I've used, okay, which is Nazar Source One and Midwest, which is Grimco now. And by the way, my good friend at Midwest, Tom Robinson's now with GSG, right? So
yes, he is.
And let me tell you, I've had the luck of having some amazing reps that if they didn't know the answer, they knew the exact person to ask. And they would, in 5 minutes, I would get the answer to whatever I needed, right? That's how I met Carl Busey. That's how I met some other people, is just because these are the people who had the answer for whatever idiotic thing I was trying to solve, right? And they were send me samples, come to the shop to show us how to do it. I mean, there are some amazing suppliers out there, right? And GSG is one of them, right? That will absolutely help you with this stuff, right? Now, there's also some suppliers, they're more transactional, we'll just say, we'll put it politely about that, right? And so, you get what you pay for, right? And so the reason why you want to work with somebody that maybe they charge a little more, but their customer service is like a million degrees higher than everybody else, is because of that. Because you're going to walk into a buzzsaw and you need some help. And let me tell you, pal, you're not going to get it from Facebook.
100%. Or a message group. You're going to get 1,000 opinions.
Now, you will get it from Shirt Lab, right? You'll get a good answer from Shirt Lab.
Well, you got to know who to talk to because someone's there. So, Marshall, let's talk about yesterday. There was a post on Shirt Lab and another one, and I didn't see it, but it came up in my feed because they asked Marshall, and Marshall goes, you need to talk to Alan Howe at Easy Way. I see it. I go up there. I see the guy. I direct message him. I told him, I said, look, I direct message you. If I can help you, give me a call. He does. He's not in my area. He's in Utah.
Yeah.
But I handled it like it was my client. We got him straight. I asked him the questions he needed to know. He goes, oh, I never thought about that. Mm-hmm. Here's this, here's that. And he's got a quote going. It's been forwarded to our rep, who's not me. That's fine. And to his distributor. Yeah, he's now ready to go.
That's great. So
and that's what it's about. How many? And there are people on here have called me and we've talked about stuff. Sometimes not even anything to do with Easy Way and stuff. That's
let's face it. There are people in this industry that are customer service focused.
Yep,
and they're here to help you. That's their whole mindset is education and help, right? And there's people who are they just want to make a buck, and
exactly.
And we're not going to, we know who those people are, but we're not going to say. So,
we're not going to say it. I don't.
Because we're nice people, right? All right. So Richard says, documents and information are always valuable. Blind advertising that only says buy my stuff, not so much.
100%.
Braden says, ink vendors. The ink guys at Aviant are so good at helping. Just getting my printers to actually call them is half the battle, right?
Yep.
So, Braden, this is, I know who your guys are, right? This is you being a leader and getting them to do that, right? And so, big discussion on that if you want to have it, right? I'm sure, exactly. In fact, I can predict what, you could probably predict what I'll tell you. So, Daryl says, I'd pay a subscription for priority customer service support. A lot of people do. Yep. A lot of people do pay a subscription for that because that's what they want. If you think about it, Shirt Lab Tribe is a priority customer service support.
Absolutely. So, I get someone asking a question and it's from Shirt Lab Tribe. I know it's real. Yeah. And I am on it, whether it's in my area, my country, or whatever. I am on it right away.
Yeah.
And Daryl, hope if you're using EasyWay, you have priority customer service. Just call me anytime.
Yeah. And Daryl knows some great people, right? So
Daryl is one of the great people we know.
Yeah. You know why? It's because he was born on August the 13th.
Is that your birthday too?
It is. We share the same birthday.
And moving on. No. Yeah.
All right. So Braden says, it's not what you preach, it's what you tolerate. My favorite quote. Thank you. Probably what you tell me. Ha ha ha.
Yep.
Exactly. How'd you know that? Right.
Yep.
Customer came in after I should do some work today. Yeah. Hey, John, make some money, pal.
Absolutely. We love customers coming in.
All right. So before we go today, right, let me turn this thing off. Hide. Before we go today, we want to talk about ISS Long Beach real quick, right? There's a couple things we want to make sure you know. One is Alan is teaching a new class.
Yep.
And this is on Saturday at 9 a.m. So this is you waking up with a hangover maybe and taking a class. But that's okay. So, Alan, what is this class and why is it new and what are you doing?
I don't remember what it is. No, it's Intro to Auto Reclaim. And here's the deal, man. Auto reclaiming is a major thing. Everybody needs to be looking at it. And I've done this a little different. I don't care how big your shop is. There are solutions to automate. And it's not because you want to get rid of people, but because labor is a premium. We've talked about minimum wage going up. We've talked about pricing going up. And it's about working harder or working smarter, not harder. And yes, we're going to talk about auto reclaim machines. What to look for, what's out there, what's the difference in them, from an all-in-one, what I call voodoo machines.
What if you already own one, Alan? Should you take this class?
Some people are. I know Carlos is sending people. I don't know. I mean, I want to say I'm well versed on it, but you know what? I said, Carlos, you already have one, and he has one of ours. He goes, you know what, Alan? Every time I send people to stuff, we learn something or remember something else for continuous education, and that's right from Carlos Balsteras, who's listening from Sharp Prints. And yeah, so absolutely. And sometimes you just don't know going, oh, I didn't know this about my machine. I didn't realize that from chamber to chamber on some machines, there's drag through, and that's what's causing it and why you need to check your chemical. So it's that. But then I'm excited about the other part too, because now we're talking about, we have this idea of automation that I push a button, the George Jetson sound starts, dun, 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 and out comes the brand new screen. We put the worst thing in there and then have that. But you know what? Machines don't have eyes. And we talk about the prep work in there, what you need to look at. If you're looking for that, have you done your checklist on it? And then what about small market? What about I can't spend 100,000 or 80,000. I only have 13 feet. An auto reclaim's not fitting. I'm a manual shop. There are solutions you need to look at and could help you. Yeah, these are the things. And I'm very excited about this. Mm-hmm. I'm also doing an article that I have to turn in later today for Screenprint magazine.
You've got homework.
I do. I'm almost done. I got to do the last one, and on there called small market, small shop automation. And it's all about 3 things that smaller shops can do, whether you're manual or small.
Yeah, good. Braden says, do you have a calculator that helps you calculate when you're ready based on labor numbers, equipment, costs, etc.?
I don't. Do you, Marshall?
I believe I might still have the one that I used when I worked at Visual. Okay. Yep. And that's how I proved that I was saving 73 cents a screen and reclaiming. which is, times 350 screens a day, right? So we added up, every day we're saving money, right? Yeah. But it's really looking at and measuring things, right? So Braden, I will look through my stuff and see if I have it. I don't know if I have it, because when I left the company, I didn't really take everything that I had, right? Because that's right. You don't get to do that a lot of times. So I don't know if I still have it or not. I did send it to Alan years ago when I actually did it.
To me?
Yeah, I think we had a whole conversation about it. You said I was the only one that you know of that actually had done the math.
Oh, on that one auto reclaim machine you did. Yeah, that's when I first met you.
Yeah. And I don't know if I have it, but anyway, it's not that hard to do, right? So
and to this day, you're the only one I know that can prove they actually save chemical costs, because on that machine, it's extremely hard to.
Well, it's just measuring how much you're using. I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway, so the answer is a kind of iffy, maybe.
The other thing on my seminar too, the reason I'm doing this is I am tired. I've seen people buy machines from people. In one client, he had a machine for, I'm not going to say the company, and it's just infuriating. I've heard it from a couple times from a couple of them, where if you haven't bought chemical from them directly in a while, they will not send you parts. And that there is nothing that is so infuriating.
Oh, well, parts are needed, because anything mechanical is going to break sooner or later.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to say who they are now, and I won't say it in the seminar. I will tell people, you come see me afterwards, I will tell you exactly who they are and to stay away from them. So and I don't care if you tell that person, here's why. And then they can, I will confront them on it. They can come talk to me saying, why are you saying it? Because it's true. Here it is.
All right. And so the next thing is I'm teaching a class also on Saturday.
Yep.
This is at 1:00, which is, good for people who want to sleep in, but it is on Midjourney, as you probably would guess. And this is a power user Midjourney class. So this is assuming you've already used it once or twice. It's okay if you have it, but this is going to be about how you can absolutely do kick-ass stuff quickly using Midjourney, right? Yep. And this is the first time I've taught this class, and I'm still putting the actual presentation together. Actually, Midjourney keeps changing things, and so that, that presents a kind of a challenge to somebody who's teaching on it, right? I'm hoping I can get my internet to work and I can be doing live things, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing little lessons, and then I'm going to film and make a little movie. And if I can't get internet, then I have something to show. But we're going to be teaching some just really cool stuff about how to use Midjourney. If you want to see some of the stuff that you might be learning, just check out my Instagram page, which is my name, Marshall Atkinson. I post stuff practically every day, not every day, but practically every day, all types of images, from logos to one color stuff to whatever. I did a raven today with a moon behind it. It was really cool. I'd love to see that on the back of a t-shirt, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I do that I can show you how to do it. And what's really cool about Midjourney is that it is the best platform for getting a fantastic image. And you can absolutely dial it in for your shop and save your art staff tons of time. And that's what the class is about how to get to the end result quickly. Okay. So, and then if you really want to dig into it, I have a new class that just started. It's going to start in February on 4 Thursdays in a row, starting on January the 25th. So it's the 25th, February 1st, February 8th, and February 15th. I'm teaching a class. This is based out of the UK, so it's in euros. So it's about $551 if in American dollars, right? And this is really about Midjourney for designing, and it's walking you through everything about getting results, right? And so it's a live thing. It's a class, so students can ask questions. I can help them solve problems. It's all bunch of stuff, right? And so if you really want your art person to learn with hands-on instruction with a person, me, teaching them, this is where you go to sign up, which is just AI Institute. The address is right there. You can probably see it, right? Yep. But it's a really great class, and I think you'll learn a lot from it. So we'd love to see you guys sign up, and probably doing this class probably 3 or 4 times during next year. Hopefully, we'll see. Well, it's all about how the first class goes. Well, you already have a bunch of people signing up, so I think it's probably gonna repeat, but you never know, right? So anyway, that's it, right? So let's get back to the main thing.
Well, and Marshall, and same thing. I know you're gonna say it. If you're going to Long Beach, I would love to meet you. Email me, text me. Love to meet you at the booth or for coffee, breakfast, lunch. That's what I do.
Yes. Double that. Ditto.
And if you want,
you can have me and Ellen together.
I was just going to say that. If you want to have breakfast with both of us, that'll be fine. We may even let you pay for it. No.
Yeah. What an honor it will be for you to buy us breakfast.
Exactly. No.
No. Well, I'll buy you breakfast if you want to do that.
Exactly.
All right. So that's pretty much the show. Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully you have a safe New Year. I know I'm going to be with my family. We're thinking about, we try to cook our New Year's Eve dinner every year. And we haven't defined the menu yet, but I think it's going to be short ribs. So we'll see. That's the main topic right now is what are we cooking? So,
the day after Christmas when I was in Ohio, my uncle smokes a lot. He did ribs and stuff. It was incredible for everybody. It was great. So yeah, I'm jealous.
So Braden says, any meeting Thursday night at the Yard House planned yet again?
I don't know anybody that's planning anything.
So there's been some talk of that, Braden. Tom Round and I were talking about that. Stalls just invited us to their big party Thursday night. And I know I do a lot of stuff with them, so I'm obligated to go to that. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think, that's always kind of a fun thing. I might slip by there just to say hello and then go to the stalls thing. I don't know. So,
a couple of years ago, I think we was talking about, there was a couple things at one time. Mark Goudray had stuff. Some other people had stuff. Marshall, you and I were both there.
Well, I was there last Yard House on Thursday last year. So
I'm trying to think of last year at Long Beach. I don't even remember what I did Thursday night,
and then we went to the stalls thing. So I don't know. So I don't know what's going on. We'll see.
So, I haven't been invited to the stalls thing, so Josh Ellsworth, it makes me sad. But no, that's okay. And I don't know what the schedule is for Easyway, but I haven't heard of anything else just planned.
Yeah. However, Braden, would love to hook up with you. Is Rusty coming or any of your crew? Would love to hang out, have breakfast, lunch, whatever.
Exactly.
I'm coming in on Wednesday, and I'll be there through Sunday. So lots of opportunity. And we're staying we got an Airbnb on the beach. So that's where we'll be.
I am coming on Thursday. We're actually staying at the hotel right next to connected to the convention center. I don't know how that
great. Yeah. I don't know how that happened either.
I don't make the reservations. Like, okay, I just go where they tell me. Okay.
That's a good spot to have. It's less walking.
Not a bad one. So yeah.
All right, everyone, have a happy New Year, and we'll see you next week for the first show of 2024. And would love to kick everything off with a bang, and hopefully Alan's going to be buying me a slice of pie, and then my Florida State Seminoles win tomorrow. I think we're going to get completely outgunned because half our team left for the NFL or whatever.
Did we talk about the bet on the show, or was it? I forget. Or was that before the show?
It was on the show. We talked about the Lions and the Cowboys.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was before or after. We talked about.
Yeah, and it's key lime pie that you're going to have to buy me, pal.
Well, that's fine because I don't eat key lime pie. You can buy me a raspberry pie or something like that. So
a raspberry pie. I don't know. Does anybody make that?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, black raspberry or something like that. They're
okay. Well,
I'd rather have that or sweet potato.
I'm going to be Googling best pies in Long Beach and see if we can find a spot.
Exactly, just something. So,
all right, everyone. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Have a great New Year, everybody. Be safe.